Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Hope you're all doing well. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Yeah, another pretty shit presser without any real tidbits in there. I mean, no disrespect to people, but why are we asking about Chambers, 16-year-old that's not going to touch the squad? Like, why? Each to their own, I guess, but I just didn't understand some of the questioning. We know what we all want to talk about, so let's fucking talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Listen, smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. We'll go through it all. But yeah, first of all, I just want to clarify some things. So I put must win on my Middlesbrough preview. That seems to have frustrated a lot of people. Nice to win. It's not a must win. What are you talking about? Bada bada bada. It is a must win for me. We're playing championship opposition. We're playing championship opposition that will be competing for the top 6. We didn't win on the weekend. If we were to lose this game, every man and the dog can say, oh, it's only the cup, it don't matter. But that would then mean we'd be going into West Brom with a draw and a loss. And we've not beaten West Brom under Daniel Farke, under Carlos Corberán, who got off to a great start at the weekend, winning 3-0 with a hat-trick from Josh Madger. You're then going into that game having not tasted victory in 2 games, which for Leeds United, who are competing at the top of the league, has to be something that's done. So regardless of changes that may or may not happen, we need to win a game of football. So that's why, for me, it's a must-win. And I stand by that statement. But yeah, the press conference in itself, pretty dead questions. I think, you know, we're all a little bit concerned after yesterday when it was doing the rounds that the squad size is a little bit minimal. Not as much as we'd like. And Beren Cross has done an opinion piece, but I think the key headline from it is it's been 24 days since we signed Jayden Bogle. 24 days. There's only 17 left. So we need to get a move on, really, don't we? Because we haven't signed someone in 24 days. So that needs to change. As a lot of people were told on the video when we discussed the Hugo Bueno links, he's now gone to Feyenoord because he's going to play week in, week out, as was said. And I took a lot of flack for it. So I'm just here to dunk on you all, to tell you what I told you before. That he wasn't going to leave the Premier League bench to sit on a champion. But Joe, you know, no, he's gone to Feyenoord. Seen a lot of links to Jack Clarke as well. Well, I say links, I don't know where they've come from. I've had a look round news sources and stuff. Leeds United are not signing Jack Clarke. If we can't get Johnny Rowe, we can't get Raksaki, we can't get other players, in what world are we signing Jack Clarke? In what world? He's probably, outside of Somerville, the most expensive winger in the division. So if you think Leeds United are stumping up money for Jack Clarke, then crack on. Crack on. And if I'm wrong, listen, I'll hold my hands up, clip me up. But there's no way Leeds United are signing Jack Clarke. If Jack Clarke leaves Sunderland, it'll be to the Premier League. Yeah, that's his next move for sure. And again, I'll come back to it. You know, if we can't sign Johnny Rowe, we can't sign Raksaki, in what world do we get a deal done with Sunderland for Jack Clarke? It's pie in the sky. He's the most expensive winger outside of Somerville, for me. It costs you closer to 20. Leeds United don't have that money. So if you're getting gassed up by that, I would probably say it's probably best not to, because that won't happen. Because if that could happen, then Johnny Rowe would already be a Leeds United player, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. Because if we're genuinely banking on Leeds signing Jack Clarke, they would have signed Johnny Rowe, because he's cheaper. And probably has a higher ceiling, and he's younger. So in what world would they go, yeah, this Johnny Rowe deal's looking a bit tough for us. Let's go for an even higher priced player. Mad. Anyway, it is what it is. We'll get into the press conference and discuss some things, but before we do, let's big up to you all. God, that was fast. I'm always here, mate. I'm always here waiting. 2 weeks to sign 3 players. Will we do it? I think we'll get 3 in, yeah. And if they don't, then the 49ers will be getting barrels. My head hurts after reading the live chat during that press conference. I didn't really read much of it. Let's have a look. Fire intro, big up. More shouting excuses. I don't know what shouting excuses he gave you. But we can go through his words verbatim. I don't know what his excuses were. I think Daniel Farke's comments of us facing the lowest XG against Palmas kind of contradicts his view on Meslier being the best keeper in the league. That's a good point, Jordan, and that then needs to be put to him by those that are in the press conference, right? You know, not one person's yet asked if we're going to see any more outgoings. These are the most important things for me. Starting to feel very similar to last season. We haven't had anything to be excited about for a while. Yeah, similar. I agree. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. Forget cups and get promoted. But you've got to win a game of football, Elliot. You've got to win. You've got to win a game of football for me. Not a must-win, Joe. Saturday is though. Yeah, but you need momentum, right? You can't be going into West Brom without a win on the board. I don't think anyway. Every game is a must-win, cup or not, especially when you're going up against champion opposition. That's the thing for me. You're going up against decent opposition. Michael Carrick and Middlesbrough looking at that, saying we're playing Leeds United. They beat us both times last season. Let's right these wrongs. That's the thing. 49ers and Farke are really testing my patience and positivity at the moment. Why can't we get out of the business done early and let the team gel? Yeah, still sleeping. Yeah, we've been through this as well. It's not good. It's not good. What you reckon the score will be? Let's hope Mez uses hand. 2-0 Leeds. That's what I went for. But we'll see. Latila to score a hat-trick. It's going to be David Brooks on loan, 100%. Could be an option. Premier League's 25-man squads will be announced soon enough. Wouldn't surprise me. No midfielder incoming. He said Gruever's the 8. No, we will get a midfielder, I think. Tottenham have a big sell-on clause for Clark. Too expensive. Yeah, I don't even know where it's come from. He mentioned having good options in midfield and then only name the 3 we gave. The 3 we have. Yeah, because he's not going to name a player that's not here, George. And he was more talking stylistically, I think. So, you know, we know Farke won't speak about players that are here. So he said he's got options in midfield, the 3. But I still think we'll add. If we don't, it's criminal. If we don't, it's criminal. Yeah, I thought so as well. I don't know what excuses he gave, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. Thank you very much, Penny Lane. I'm at the stage where Farke's words are no different than how I felt when Marsh was in charge, spewing bile. Nah, I disagree on that. No one dares question Meslier on Farke. That was a silly comment from Farke. We never should have... Yeah, I agree. Someone needs to put that to him, right? Brooks would be a good signing. Yeah, 100% David Brooks would be a good signing. But if Sheffield United are serious, then we won't get him. If Leeds lose tonight and Saturday, questions will begin to be asked. And that's why it's a must-win. That's why I don't understand why people were so vexed by me saying it and saying it's hyperbole and you're being negative and all that sort of stuff. No, I want Leeds United to win. I want Leeds United to win. And we should win. We beat them twice last season. We beat them twice last season, regardless of rotation. I still look. I sort of had to check my thinking last night when I said we've got the best squad and we've got depth. And then you look at the numbers, and do we actually have depth? And we're going to go through this on another video, but I still think we've got the best squad, folks. Man for man. I know people will disagree with me, but I do. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. They seem to be doing all right. Johnny Marsden, we'll have to wait and see. But let's go through some of the questions on the in the press conference. So on team news and injuries, so we've got a full strength team again. And he made a point of saying that. I think Rob Price, I don't know what he was doing, but he was didn't you say you're definitely getting John Rowe? I still think we will get him. Definitely at a stretch. But no, I still think we'll get him. I still think we'll get Johnny Rowe, folks. And that's where I'm hanging my hat. Rowe soon. Leeds soon. I still think we'll get him. Looks like Marseille might have pulled out of the race, which gives Leeds United a free run at him. If they don't get him, it's unsuccessful for me. I think he's there to be got. He's refused to play. Marseille might have pulled out. We don't know yet, but it looks like they could have. So it looks like a free run for me. So yeah, Johnny Rowe would still be my pick, and I would love us to sign Johnny Rowe. It's taking a top player from the division, from an opponent, definitely. I understand why they asked about Ayling for me, because he's a club legend. He's going to be captaining the side we're going up against. So for me, yeah. Anyway, Daniel Farker. So good news, all players are fit and available. That's quite rare. It's a good scenario and situation. We'll also go highly motivated into this game. We want to go as far as possible, and the first step is the first round. He was asked about rotation, and this is where we have to think about him using his squad, folks. I think he is going to do that this year. So I don't want to hear like people saying, oh, you know, he's stubborn, he doesn't use players. He didn't do this last year. He didn't really rotate all that much. And I think because he didn't trust his squad, and that's why I say we have a better squad than we did last year, although the ceiling's not as high, but the floors come up, if you like. Because when you've got people like Max Vober, Brendan Aronson, Patrick Bamford, Pirro, etc. on the bench, it's no joke, is it? So he says we will perhaps rotate a bit more than we would normally do. For this game, it definitely makes sense as we are at the beginning of the season. I have to keep in mind it's a quick turnaround for the game on Saturday as well. Lee says, Rose coming, Joe. He's turned down France. It's now about a mutual fee agreed between Norwich and Leeds. That's where I think I'm at as well. And I've maintained that throughout. So there'll be another dunking session. There will be receipts. I can't wait for that day. Ultimately, if it don't come through, I'll get dunked on as well. It's all part of the fun, innit? He said, what I will make sure is that I don't risk any players. We know in the first week there are, there is a lot of load for them. So we'll rotate more than we normally would. Rotate 2 or 3 roles is normally normal. However, because if we rotate more than that, it can stop the rhythm. For this game, it makes sense to do more. I think it makes sense to do more because he trusts the squad. I think as I've said, Darlow will come in. I think you'll see probably Byram and Vober coming at fullback. I don't think he'll change the centre-backs. Maybe keep some continuity there. They need game time together. Ampadu will play alongside Rothwell this time, I'd imagine. You'll probably see Brendan Aronson on the left. Rutter in the... Maybe even Gelhardt, actually. Gelhardt could play central and maybe you put Rutter on the right. And then it'll be Bamford. But you've got Pirro as well. So actually, you could see Aronson, Pirro and Joffy. I'd like Joffy to start, if I'm honest. And then up top, Bamford. I think that's the way it'll go. But yeah, he says, for this game, it makes sense to do more. It's beginning of the season. We've got several good options. Quick turnaround for this game and then next Saturday. Now, I don't know what the squad was for the first Carabao Cup game. And I think it might have been... Was it Salford? No, we won the first round. I can't remember last season's, but I don't remember him being as open as saying, yes, I'm going to make changes as he is doing in this one. And that there, for me, proves that he's a lot more comfortable with the squad that he's got at his disposal. Philip says, not a chance Bamford will start. Joe, I think he will, Philip, if he's ready. If he's ready from a fitness perspective, he will start. You've got to give these guys minutes, and this is an opportunity for him. Farker was then asked on the Pompey result, and he said, we won all the statistics. Sometimes you sit in the dressing room like, how the hell did we not win this game? It happens. It's the Championship. It's football. It was Accrington, and it was quite tough, actually. I swear they scored first. I swear they scored first. Yeah, so, look, yeah, he's right in what he's saying. We did win all the statistics. How the hell did we not win this game? We had that last season as well, right? It's the Championship. It's football. Yeah, but we need to quickly write that and make sure that we don't have to have these conversations again week after week kind of vibe. He was asked, is it time for your first home win? This is important as well for me. But he said, look, we're still unbeaten. Bit tongue-in-cheek. Sorry, it was Shrewsbury. He said, we wanted to win the first game. It's football. It's Championship. We were sat in the dressing room in disbelief. We had not won that game. And we are highly motivated to win the first game. And that's why it's important that we do that, folks. We need to get that first win. I don't go along with this narrative that it's just the cup. We need to win, especially because it's championship opposition. You'd be expecting to win if it was lower opposition. But because it's championship opposition, for me, we need to win. Transfers. Right, so he was asked about transfers, and he said, yes, I'm totally calm. I will not panic. We have a really good group and basement to work with, the squad, which I think is fair. He said, we cannot afford a fortune on players. So again, I come back to that notion of signing Jack Clark being pie in the sky. We need quality, not just numbers. Spirited, he said, we've got a spirited and close group. The new signing has to tick all the boxes. Need quality, but needs a top mentality and personality, and is affordable. A deal that keeps us in the driving seat, even with a loan. When you cannot spend a fortune, you have to be patient. This group we have is very strong. I have trust in our key players and owners, and we're working behind the scenes on business, and we are in good talks. So talks are ongoing, of course. He was asked specifically about the loan market. I've seen a lot of the chat popping off saying he's having a go at Raksaki and maybe Bueno and Co here, but he says, yeah, look, if you can ask me, I would rather have a permanent signing. It's always better because the player is then fully committed to being at Leeds United and be willing to develop. The loan market can be tricky. Some players are not guaranteed to play, which makes it difficult. Prem loans come here to get game time, and if you cannot guarantee it, a loan does not make sense for some players, you know. And that's why we've maybe missed out on a Raksaki, etc., because they're not going to get the game time. But I like that stance. I know a lot of people were frustrated last season, for example, we missed out on Carvalho and all this sort of stuff. But I prefer that stance. And that's why I was pretty on the note, like, with Bueno. He was not coming to Leeds because he'd have sat on the bench initially. And regardless of if he was good enough to usurp Firpo, which many said he was, he still wouldn't have been okay with that. You know, they want to play. And Raksaki needs to play, having not played last season. But I actually rate Leeds United and Farke for that. I wouldn't want to guarantee a player minutes. What does that do for the squad as well in terms of those that are vying for places, seeing a player come in who's guaranteed to play? It's not good. So for me, it's the right move. Now, of course, if you get in a fucking Oscar Bob, then it's a different story. Do you know what I mean? And maybe I would say, come on, Farke, bend your rules a little bit. But yeah, we've got very good wingers here. You know, we do have that with Nonto, with James, you know. With Rutter, even when he plays out there, Aronson. So we can't say, yeah, you know, somewhere like Hull was able to guarantee minutes for him. But yeah, not us. So would prefer a permanent signing because they are committed through difficult phases. The loan market is an option, and we're eyeing permanent transfers, and we will not fall asleep. Someone needs to make up the mind, because Daniel Farke says to not fall asleep. Parag tells us he needs to be asleep because he does them in his sleep. You know, he does contracts in his sleep. So someone needs to make the mind up. Are they going to be asleep or are they going to be awake? Which one? On that never guaranteeing a loanee game time, I think Popey asked him this. He said, yes, you know, as long as I'm in charge, this will always be the case. It's not the salaries, the CV, the loan, or if they're permanent, or their valuation. It's what you deliver and your quality on the training pitch, your dressing room behaviour, your commitment. If you deliver, you will play, but we will never guarantee match time while I am in charge. And I think that's the right... it's the right avenue to take with a player, for me. Well, that's not true, is it? Because some players won't need to be guaranteed game time. A la Jadon Anthony last season. There's certain players that have a certain level of ability that clubs will demand that they play. But there are other signings that are at that level, i.e. Joe Rothwell. You know? Joe Rothwell's just happy to be in a squad where he might get game time. Same with Jadon Anthony. But if you have someone like Carvalho, who has good aspirations, who's been on Leipzig and not played, he's then going to want to play. Same with Bueno, who Wolves have said, we want to keep you as a squad option. Well, I'm not happy being a squad option in the Premier League. I want to play minutes. So these are the different, right? So yeah, because we've already got a loan in Joe Rothwell, you know. So, but I like that, you know. If Liverpool, say for example, if we're competing for Owen Beck, the left back, if Liverpool demand that he plays, he's not going to come here, you know. It's not a fact though, is it? And who would you have started him over Gabbage and Somerville? Because that's his position. So the fact ain't facting and the math ain't mathing. Because a player that did tear up the Championship was Somerville. And who would have Anthony had to start in front of? Somerville. So I know which player I'd rather. And if we end up with Jadon Anthony back on loan, by the way, it stinks. Stinks. Yeah, but you still will be able to get cover in, bro. You still will be able to get cover in. Okay, so you'd have started him over Nonto or James? Again, no. So, Bosch and Wash 2024 with a super sticker. Big up to you, my man. Big up to you. Thank you for that. Farkeron conceding 3 goals at the weekend. He was asked, you know, not great, was it? He says, normally in the beginning of the season, I don't like to rotate too much. Because he was asked specifically more so on, like, do you keep continuity at the back? So when you have a few changes in the group, you need to come into your rhythm. I'm a big believer to rotate a bit later in the season, which he didn't do last season. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it does. But what do you want to do? Do you want to guarantee a player game time? Or do you want to say no and stick to your principles? We have to stick to our principles. Yeah, it might make it harder to get a player, but the player that you do get wants to be there for the right reasons. You can't have it all, unfortunately, can we? You know, you've got to be one or the other. You can do a Hull City and guarantee player minutes, or you can say, no, we're not going to guarantee you minutes because we've got a good squad, and you have to fight for your place. You can't have both. Yes, it might make it harder to get a deal done, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cookie crumbles, right? Yeah, I agree, Johnny. I do as well, mate. You know, I think it's piss poor. I don't want to be giving no player game time. Because we've got a good 11 here. We need an 8 to start. But outside of that, it's very strong. Isn't it? You know? Ben Doak's not coming as a backup option, mate. They want 10 million for him. I'd love Ben Doak. He's in the Scotland setup. Again, they want 10 million for him. I think they're after selling him, but he's not a backup option. That's the thing. Again, in the Championship, he would want to play, and so he should. I don't know if you're doing this to rile me up at this point, Sean, but I'm gonna have to stop engaging with you with this 49, because of course it is. Like, if you're going to blame Farker for the transfer business, then hey ho, it is what it is. If you're saying so, what you're saying there by that is, well, Farker should guarantee him minutes, and if he doesn't, then it's his fault. No. Mental. Well, I think getting rid of Kamara was a poor decision anyway, but hey ho, everyone told me he was the shit and Rothwell's better, and then Rothwell can't even start, so hey ho, there you go. I'm a big believer to rotate a bit later in the season, but overall, when I regard our last game, we concede too many goals. He said it's not like us to concede 3. One of our main goals this season is to be the best defence in the league. I'm very keen to work on it, which we were last season, you know, so we have to be there. If you have a deeper look into the details, a penalty situation always flags up 0.07 in expected goals, because that's the probability XG against us. If you take the penalty away, the 50 league games I'm in charge, it was the lowest XG against us in all 50 games, which is fair enough. You have to, you know, you can't get away from that. We can't get away from that fact. So, here's what it is. So why did you say it's not the 49ers' fault? Whose fault is it then? That player, probably. Maybe that player. But if we don't, listen to me, hear me now. Hear me now. If we don't bring in the 3 players that we need, that is on the 49ers, Sean. Simple. Simple as that. And if you can't see that, then you cannot be saved. Alhamdulillah, you cannot be saved. I'm telling you now. Results, manager. Incomings, 49ers. It's as simple as pie. 3.1427 or whatever it is. So yeah, we do have, we did have the best XG against and all that sort of stuff. But these can't be used as excuses or out like that, can they? At the end of the day, we need to win games of football. We need to win games of football. And there's your woman Yvette who, will tell me all the time, Joe, you've been a little bit harsh on the 49ers or whatever, saying these things, And on the same time, when the manager's mentioning XG against and XG for, that's on him as well. Like you've said, it's an excuse, right? Because you've not won the game of football. Okay, we were second. Sorry, a second. So, again, there's the correlation, isn't it? If you don't give the manager the tools, it's on those that have not given him the tools. If the manager's got the tools and he doesn't get the results over the line, then that's on the manager, right? And what's really worrying me is, like, we were led to believe that it was all joined up, man. That it was all joined up. And Farke's still pushing that narrative, and he's calm, so we have to believe in that. Believe in the shield and all that sort of stuff. But 25, 24 days, whatever it is, since signing a player is long. Especially when you've only got 17 days left. So, yeah. Brentford are closing in on Burnley defender Dara O'Shea. Big move. Big move, that. Again, look. It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. That's massive, that, for us. If they lose Dara O'Shea. He was class last night. He scored last night. This is good news for us. Very good news. And the thing is, you've got to have a 25-man squad, right? You've got to have a 25-man squad. They've got 34 players, so they have to do a lot of trimming anyway. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, no, I'm not coming away from that fact either, by the way. Please understand that. But I think as well, what I'll say, we do need an 8. We need a starting 8, regardless. I actually think that's a massive missing piece of the jigsaw, actually. Having seen us and looking at opposition and stuff, if you don't get that, that's not great. That's not great. And you need cover in places and that, and you need to replace Somerville. But yeah, do you think we got the best squad, Sean? And you, Jamie, do you think we've got the best squad? Or the best 11? Just out of interest. Do you think that? I mean, they've got a cut. I mean, it's only one game. There'll be a lot of people leaving, mate. So yeah, be leaving. You aren't all engaged with George's bloody David Moyes. He's got to be on the wind up. I left it alone. Is that actually happening? So we've got the best 11, best squad. Right, okay, that's fine. I agree with you. I just wanted to test your thinking. If you were saying that, no, we haven't, then I was like, okay, well, we ain't got the best squad to go up then. But if you're saying we have, then that's fine. Definitely. David Moyes, no, please. Nah. Don't do this. Then he was asked about Sam Chambers from Popey. I didn't understand the questioning. Will Sam Chambers feature? Is he even close to it? Don't understand it. So yeah, he said we see a lot of potential in him from a physical point of view. He's at a good point. If we didn't believe in him, he wouldn't be there with us in pre-season. Don't know. Didn't understand it. Wasn't needed. Farker on Middlesbrough. We know we face one of the best sides in the league, one of the favourites to finish in the top 6. They have a really good coach and a really good quality players. A good blend of experience. They will come with confidence after their first win of the season and a proper cup run last season. They will try to repeat this again. Yeah? Big win. Yeah, James McAtee's been playing, probably will play this weekend, to be honest. Oh, Plymouth keeper, right, cool. Farker on Bamford and striker options. He says, we have a few players like Patrick who missed 11 weeks of team training if you count the summer break. He's not right now in his prime. He came from a long rehab. You need a bit of time to get the rhythm. The more he trains with us, the more he edges. It's closer. Same as Aronson and Vobro arrived late in pre-season. Not whole squad ready to go for 90 minutes, but 45, 60 minutes, yes. So maybe like you were saying, Phil, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they don't start, maybe they come on. But I'd start with them personally and then bring them off if needed. So, yeah. Damar says, fuck's sake, not this guy. Stop speaking on him. No, because he's been asked the question, so I'm reiterating. You need to relax on Bamford. I don't know why you hate him so much. Please explain to me what he's done to you to make you hate him when he pulls on the white shirt of Leeds United. Explain. Why do you hate him? Because at this point it is hate. And hate's a strong word, but it is hate. Like, you shouldn't hate your own players, man. Right, so he's not done it enough for you, but is that enough for you to go so vitriolic towards him? For you to put in capitals, not this fucking guy, stop speaking on him. Is that enough for you to really dislike someone that much? That's all I'm asking. I can never understand it, that's all. He does... Folks, to say he's done nothing as well. No, he don't get praised like he is king. So you hate him because other people like him. Is that... I'm just trying to get to the bottom of why you hate him. So you hate him because other people like him. That seems a bit of a mad reason to hate someone just because he's liked by other people. And for those that say he didn't do enough, he didn't do nothing, you do understand that the run that we went on from January coincided with Bamford being back in the side. Them's the facts. So he did do something last season. And I just don't understand the vitriol towards him. Well, Damar, I think you do hate him. When I mention his name, you go, fuck me, stop speaking on this man in massive capitals. If you don't do enough, that's fine, but why do we not speak? Why can we not speak about him not doing enough? The mere mention of your name, I think your first comment in this stream was, the fuck are they talking about Bamford for? That was your first comment. The mere mention of his name, it's like Voldemort for some people. And I really don't understand it. He's a man that you might not rate, whatever, but, like, there's no need for such vitriol towards a player that plays for Leeds United. And if you really want people to stop giving him flowers, my advice to you would be, stop being so vitriolic towards him. Because that's why people do it. Because they know how much he gets bashed. So when they see him, they want to support him. So for example, my friend was at the game at the weekend. Yeah. Aronson gets booed. It is then overrun by maybe even too over-exaggerated amount of applause to drown out the boos. No, you can't boo him, so we're going to applaud him even louder. So for those, because he gets so much hate, i.e. people turning up at his house, people being angry, you know, Leeds United having to hide tweets when he comes on as a sub or whatever, because he gets so much support, then, because he gets so much hate, then people go the other side and say, well, we're going to support you even more. Because you don't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. Is my point. And you can be critical. Of course you can, yeah. But to not even be allowed to why are we even speaking on this guy? That's not true, Damar. That's not true. Of course you can be critical. Of course you can be critical. I am critical of him. I am. This was your first comment. That was your first comment. If that's critic, and then that's fair enough. And I've misread that then. I've totally misread that, brother. And I'm just trying to get to the bottom. I've totally misread that then. Because I mentioned, because this is here to react to the press conference. Farke's mentioned his name. I've mentioned his name, and that's your comment. That's not critical. That's not having discourse and a conversation about a player and what they do and don't give. So that's my point. And the reason people are so supportive of him is because of that. And that's why now we've got into a discourse about Bamford again. Do you see what I'm saying? He's not starting for us. It's a cup game. He'll get some minutes. Like that, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just a conversation, like, you know. And he'll see out his contract with Leeds United, and that's it. You know, but yeah. Anyway, the more he trains with us, the more he edges. Same as Aronson and Vober, who arrived late in pre-season. Not the whole squad ready to go for 90 minutes, but 45 to 60 minutes, yes, we will probably see them. Farke on Ayling's return. Farke on Ayling's return. That might be another trigger warning for people in the chat. League One Luke. Remember we were told? League One Luke. League One level. Now captain at Boro. There we go. A bit strange to welcome Luke here at Ellen Road. A key player in the past decade. Unbelievable first season on Premier League level. I've spoken so often what I think about Luke. I would have liked to have had him in his prime. He's an outstanding character and player. One of the best I've worked with character-wise. I know that he always is desperate for us to win games and be successful. He's always professional. He'll give his best to make sure his team is successful. But I know deep down inside, he wants us to do well. It feels strange to have him in a different shirt. If he scores at the weekend, man, there's a little part of me in the background go, go on, Luke. Obviously, I play, but there's a little part of me like, I love Luke. I love Luke Ayling, man. So, yeah, and he also got far too much criticism. He's gone to another team. He got the most open play assists second half of the season alongside Junior Firbo, 8 in total, I think. And now has been made captain after being there for 6 months. Yeah, I know. I haven't... That's the point. You're allowed to criticise. I just think the mere mention of his name triggers people like beyond belief and he gets too much stick. Of course I criticise him. I don't sit here and say I don't. I don't want him to start. You haven't done anything there. Of course I do. You know, like, that's what I mean. It is what it is. Howson will run the midfield. Yeah, he was on the bench at the weekend, but I figure he might start. I figure he might start. Definitely. Luke will have a point to prove. This is the thing. Regardless of what happens, he will want to prove to the manager, first and foremost. Regardless of if they've got a good relationship, he'll want to prove to Farke, you shouldn't have never let me go. You brought in Connor Roberts on loan. You played young Archie Gray there. I should have started. So, of course, he'll want to... Now, I don't agree with that, but that's what will be going on in Luke's head. You know? That's the truth. Anyway, so, Farke on Ayling, and then he finished on Gruev and Rothwell because he was asked about that, yeah? We have some proper options in midfield. They can all play together. Right now, Ilya is playing the number 8 role. He impressed during pre-season. He scored a great goal running in behind, which we've seen him advancing into forward areas. We got the feeling physically he's in top shape. He's defensively aware, and he's added goal threats, set pieces in a really good way. And then he mentions the free kick against Pompey. So it looks like maybe during pre-season, Gruev has stepped above Joe Rothwell, based on them comments. But he says Joe's also a key player. I like what he offered during pre-season. We have to keep in mind in the last 3 years he wasn't starting too many games and arrived slightly later. And that's the type of loanee that Leeds United probably will get, if that makes sense. New signing, you need sometimes a bit more time to be 100% physically fit. He has the potential to play the final pass, good set pieces, and he's good going forward. We don't have to remind everyone of his time at Blackburn where he smashed it and got that move to Bournemouth. We want to revive this form and shape. He can also open pretty compact opponents. The balance is a bit different. Ilya a bit more defensive-minded and Joe offensive. They can play really well together when we need Ethan Ampadu at centre-back. So hopefully we won't need Ethan Ampadu at centre-back. But yeah, there is options up to now. I'd like another number 8. I think it's criminal if Leeds United don't go in with a more attack-minded number 8, a box-crashing 8, someone who's going to score us goals. You know, that's what we definitely need. Someone who's got that movement, that can step away from a defender on the edge of a box, get it cut back, bang. You know, that kind of vibe. That's what we'd need. But yeah, look, it's a very testing time at the minute for Leeds United fans after. I know we played really well, but the draw, I think because emotions and expectations were here, then when we drew and it was same old deja vu, it's gone down again, and we've still not signed anyone, and we're seeing our opponents sign loads of players. It's yeah. Hal's just messes. Watched extended highlights of Leeds' official YouTube channel of your draw with Portsmouth. They cut out the Bogle penalty incident. Very poor. Can't pick and choose what happens in a game, especially when it leads directly to a goal. Haven't watched the extended highlights, but that is a bit mad that Leeds have done that, innit? Why have they done that? Aye, a bit petty, but it is what it is. But yeah, everyone's a bit all over. I don't want Maxwell Cornet. Look, this is a thing. Everyone will go mad for Maxwell Cornet. Maxwell Cornet. It'll take you about 6 weeks to even get him up to speed. He started one game in the Premier League last season. One game in the Premier League. He had 112 minutes last year. Season before that, he started 2 games. I don't want him. Honestly. Yeah, what they hide in comments, though. If it's abuse, then it should be hid, if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't want Maxwell Cornet. But I can guarantee you if we were linked to Maxwell Cornet, people would go insane. Oh my God. And he started, Laura, he started 3 games in 2 seasons. It's not the pool we're fishing in. The pool we're fishing in is Johnny Rowe. Go get him. It's a bench option cover for Firpo. No. 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 No, man. No. Why? No. Nah, not for me. For me, you only need a bench option at left back. We need starting level players for the 8 and for the wing position, or a 10. However, I think he'll start him all, Demar, unless we get another 8, and then we can maybe play Gruev in his position. I think that's what he'd prefer to do. Yeah, he's played left wing back in the past, yeah, but no, not for me, mate. And imagine what wages he's on and stuff. Doesn't make sense. You're best off going to get a young upstart. That's what you're best off doing. Doesn't make sense to bring in Maxwell Cornet on a loan. Yeah, Not for me anyway. People will tell me different, but and I can guarantee you, if Maxwell Corner was linked, oh, be mad, be mad. Do you know stuff like that though? Why do you need to reply to the club? Just put it on a tweet yourself. Not good enough today. That's all I'll say. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why people... I don't know. I mean, I've probably done it in the past, so people in glass houses and that, but yeah, I don't know. Here's what it is. Anyway, I'm just going to have a look at West Ham's salaries now. See what Maxwell Corner is earning. He's on 65 grand a week, man. That's more than any of our players. You can't sit him on the bench, can you? Roy agreed, but how that stalled due to what... But we don't know it's stalled because no official bid's gone in yet, Dan. Leeds are just taking time, aren't they? Leeds are just taking the time. And you can get older players on loan, a la Joe Rothwell. We're just going to have to hope, aren't we? We're just going to have to hope and pray that we get the players that we need. And if they don't, then they're you know, we need to tell them, because at the end of the day, we were told we got a 5-week head start, all this, and we were told all this, people. The videos are there to prove it, and we now haven't signed a player for how many days did I say? 24 days, so 3 weeks. There hasn't been a player come in. And there's only 17 left. So, 2.5 weeks. So we need to get our skates on. And of course, naturally, more business is done in the late end of the window and all that sort of stuff. But the season started, man. The season started. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? I just hope and pray. I hope and pray we can sort it, man. Because I just don't want to be going into the season thinking if we'd have just done this, if we'd have just done that. Because we've had too many seasons of that now. Yeah, man, as ratings go, it's really poor. It's not great when you consider you've lost your 2 best players, one of your best performers last season in Kamara, a young centre-back in Creswell, etc. So we've sold a lot of players. And then Rodon's a great pickup. Of course... Rothwell on loan. Cairns. Who else? There's one more, isn't there? Oh, Bogle. Great going forward, can't defend. Joking, man. It triggers people, that. Yeah. Oh, Sean back in it again, man. But we don't have an 8, bro, that we need. We don't have an 8. We don't have that. We don't have that. We genuinely don't have that. I've just had steak and rice, Ancelotti. I've just had steak and rice. After me 10k, I did 10k, man. It's mad, right? I set off this... I was talking to Lockie and... Andreas saying like I didn't want to go and it's horrible and all that sort of stuff, and I've only been doing 5k, and then when I set off I ended up doing 10, so I was buzzing with myself. Like halfway around I was thinking, oh, I'm feeling this. I thought, let's go. Boxed off 10k, buzzing. Let's see what Joe Donohue's just done an article here. Farker reveals Leeds United's enter the transfer window strategy as deadline day looms with the squad light. 25 players predominantly made up of youngsters, outgoing loans and fringe members of the White squad have left for Parch this summer. 25 players, rendering the Leeds squad among the lightest in the Championship. Farker stated he would like 17 or 18 key players in his group, but currently counts on just 20 first-teamers in total, with a handful of academy standouts on standby, which is your Chambers, your DeBayos and stuff. Farkas said, I think you can judge it in a general like this. Sometimes the end of the window, a player is available that was not possible at the start. When you have a bit of time and can be a bit more patient, you should do this. The experience says if you have panic buys in July or early August, you don't have the necessary bullets when really interesting players are available at the end of the window. We have a good core group and only do business when we're fully convinced. It's never a guarantee, but definitely could be the case. Yeah, it's just what was said in the press conference. We shall wait and see. We shall wait and see. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in and hit that notification bell. I am going to be on the debrief tonight at 7. I did do a Middlesbrough preview as well, which was out earlier on this morning. 10-minute vid if you want to check that out as well. And of course, if any transfer news breaks, I'll pop on this evening as well. But yeah, we'll see. Thanks as always for watching the show. Love you all. I know we have disagreements and disputes, but I really respect you all for coming on the channel and saying your bit. It's never personal. Yeah, so thank you for that. And big up to you all. And enjoy the rest of your day, okay? And hopefully I'll see you later on, because hopefully we'll get some news. Hopefully, 10k is a 2-hour stroll for me, Joe. It was a 59-minute run for me, mate. Yeah, debrief's on Connor's channel, isn't it, mate? Yeah. Anyway, Smodix Medical tomorrow at Ipswich. Very good. Very good deal for them, that. Very good. Peace out now, folks, and I'll see you later on, hopefully, if we get some news. Enjoy your day. Bye.